Hello. Hello. It's December 19th, same day as earlier, although I'm a little bit more lucid. I just got off work. Hold on, let me pause this because I can't hear myself think. I love how I'm saying hold on, like you are a person once again. Okay, well, just a little reminder, I'm doing this because why not? I don't know. I just want to be able to look back and see how I was feeling each day, and maybe it'll like give me a little insight onto like how I'm feeling every day or over a long period of time, perhaps. But yeah, I just got off work. I just took a fat shit. I'm at my apartment. I'm in here alone. I don't even know what to talk about. I mean, we could talk about the fact that everybody else seemingly is making more money than me at work. But I'm like, are they lying? Or am I being a shitty server? I don't even know. But it's frustrating as hell. And I just want to make money too. I'm okay. I'm totally boosting it. I'm very thankful. I'm thankful. I am very appreciative of what I have made. I'm like trying to convince myself. I'm like, yes, I'm appreciative. Yeah. Just feeling the same way as usual. Don't really know whether to like listen to music or watch a show. It's like my attention span doesn't want the show, but my attention span also doesn't want the music because then I feel like I have to occupy myself and I'd have to like do something. And I feel like there's like two different, like there's the person that I view myself as, or like what I would say like what I want to be, who I am if I could release myself from all of the other quote-unquote flaws. I see myself as someone who does like to do those things. Because, like, when I watch movies and TV shows and they show, like, the person doing whatever, like, say there's a girl sitting in her room painting her toenails, listening to music. That idea sounds so nice, but most of the time I find myself being so anxious that, like, I wouldn't want to be. Like, it's not enough. That sounds crazy. Like, it's not enough to be just painting my toenails and listening to music. I just, like, am constantly, like, it's like I either have to be, like, completely out of it or doing something like this, where it's, like, completely inactive. Like, I don't really have, like, a chill bone. Sometimes I do. I don't know. I'm all over the place. Like, I am yet to figure myself out. I know I have low energy a lot. But I can't tell if it's from oversleeping or undersleeping or not sleeping the right hours. Like, what, sleeping, not falling asleep till late, but it's like with my job, I can't help it. I'm not very good at sleep schedule. That's for sure one of my downfalls. What's my other downfall? I lie a lot. About stupid shit. I love to make people feel comfortable, so I'm a very agreeable person, which most people would consider a very shitty quality to have. Like, I'm agreeable. But I also think I'm like a fucking Rubik's Cube. Like, there's so many sides to me that it's not like I'm not trying to just make you feel good by agreeing with you. I see your point. Like, I see there's a part of that I understand, and there's also the part that I don't understand. Which also makes it difficult because you constantly know that person. Like, if someone at work comes up to talk shit about me, then, I get all weird because I'm like, oh gosh, if the other person comes around the corner, they're going to be thinking, and it's like, I'm not even talking shit, I'm just that person that everyone wants to approach and say their shit to. I think I just have a permanent stamp on my forehead that says, like, hi, Ariel, unbothered by everything. Hit my line. Give me something good. But yeah, I also, another reason I'm trying to do this, because I want to be able to be with myself. I don't want to have to rely on TV or a fucking phone call, FaceTime. Like, all of those things require, like, being interactive with, like, I don't want to have to do that. Like, I want to be comfortable alone. And not just comfortable alone, comfortable in silence alone. Like, I can't even imagine if my Wi-Fi wasn't working. Like, yeah, right now I'm talking, whatever. But, 20 minutes from now, or however long it takes me to ramble on, eventually that silence comes. And that's when my brain just starts working at, like, freaking overdrive. It reminds me of, like, on that SpongeBob episode where he's like, a name, I got nothing on a name. And it shows, like, the chaos of his brain and, like, everything's on fire and they're, like, searching through the files. I feel like that's my brain every day. Which explains why I'm always low-key, like, overwhelmed. But, you know, shit, it's like, I think I have a lot of, like, super awesome qualities. But they're all hidden by, like, other qualities. Or my own mistakes, let's be honest. My own fucking mistakes. Like, I'm thinking to myself right now, even though this is a vlog, it's about being open and honest. I'm thinking to myself right now, how many of my own issues do I cause? There's a freaking question. How many of my own issues do I cause? How many times do I choose to be standing up right now in my living room as opposed to going and trying to lay in my bed and fall asleep before midnight? But it's the thought alone. The thought alone of going in there overwhelms me. Like, I literally have to find myself in that oblivion moment, or the tired moment, or the I'm sick of watching shows, I'm whatever, to get into my bed and be comfortable. And it's like, that's frustrating. Why can't I just be? Sometimes it's funny, too, when I catch myself being, quote unquote, like, I'll notice that 10 minutes have gone by and I haven't really been in my head. Or if I have, like, because I'm always in my head, but if 10 minutes have gone by and I've found myself, like, casually, like, zoning out where you're just like, la, 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 I'm genuinely impressed when I do that. I'm like, whoa, I don't know where I just went for a second, but, like, I'm 100% always this little, like, there's, like, another functioning version of me inside of my head that, like, I genuinely talk to. So when I have those moments of, like, silence and serenity, silence and the double S, silence and serenity, it makes me, you know, well, let's be honest, it makes me weirded out. Because then I think to myself, where did I go? Or, like, why can't I be like that all the time? And then I wonder, am I just crazy? Like, are other people like that? Like, I'm pretty sure I'm not the only person who lives in their head. Clearly not. Because there's hella memes about it. That's my knowledge I have of it. There's so many memes about it, so it must be true. But, I mean, I've talked to friends, family, whatever. Everyone lives in their head. I just feel like mine feels so inescapable. Like I can't even just chill for a second. Like, I mean, I guess unless I'm smoking weed, like, lots of weed. But even then, it'll get me in my head. Like, I'm smoking weed right now. But you know what? Hardly ever. Well, okay. That was going to be a strong statement. Most of the time at work, I'm not in my head. There's just too much going on. There's too much to do. I'm genuinely so distracted that, like, there's no room for, like, I don't know. I still have those thoughts, like, oh my gosh, is that person judging me? Or, like, oh my gosh, like, I just stuttered over my words. They're totally talking shit. Or, like, oh my gosh, is Madison over there telling that girl that I just talked about, Brazilian butt lift, is she over there telling the girl that Brian's on a certified board certified surgeon? Because those are the things that are going through my head. And, like, that's so, And this is why I'm just so underwhelmed and overwhelmed by this idea of, like, fighting a man, falling in love, moving in together, loving each other enough to want to have children and give up your sense of self and freedom. Not that you should give up your sense of self, but you know what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, I just don't know how I feel about it. It's like some days I'm lonely. I'm like, oh, that sounds nice. But then other days, I mean, not so much. Not so much. Because think about it this way. If I'm comparing it to the previous, I don't know why, but I always end up, like, letting, like, resentment build. Like, I would say that's my number one problem in a relationship is, like, not being honest with my feelings up front, which in turn is hurting everybody in the process because it doesn't give the man a reason or, like, an opportunity to change. And then to top it all off, it's not, like, it's just putting that in my mind that, like, oh, everyone is already you know, they're already shitty, so just keep quiet, and if you tell them, they're gonna think you're dramatic. It's like, no, fuck that. No more of that. I'm not saying I'm gonna, like, you know, shit on everybody everywhere I go when it comes to relationships, but at the same time, like, I'm sick, like, with Judah, with Christian, like, so much would go on. So much would go on, and I would just let it happen. It was like, that's all I can really say, is that I would just let it happen. Like, I was so unvocalized. And then what would happen, and what caused a lot of problems, is that I would get super plaster drunk. Well, what happens when you're super plaster drunk? All these emotions start leaking out of you like lava. Half of them are true, half of them are not true. The other half is a little bit of both. So what happens is that I end up getting freaking wasted in those relationships, and then I would sit there and tell them what a shithead they were for all these things that I never brought up. Well, now you're just like a whiner because you never brought it up before. It's like if a dog bites you on the leg and you've never once told him no, but then all of a sudden you hit him on the head and beat him for it. They're gonna be like, what the fuck? Like, you never told me I couldn't. Like, I never showed my feelings to those guys. I never once told people, like, hey, you know, that makes me really uncomfortable. Hey, I don't like having sex this particular way. Or, like, I would just always be silent. Like, no. My thoughts, my needs, my whatever was secondhand because I've always questioned it. I mean, I still do. Even at this point, I think probably as I'm recording this, I'm probably, like, making myself look like a better person so that I can look back and feel good about myself. But it's like, I know I'm not a bad person. Like, I'm not a bad person. There's no way that I'm a bad person. I genuinely care about people. I think I have a lot of fucking issues. I think I have a lot of built up anger. And I think that shows up when, like, someone does something, even the smallest little thing, and I'll be, like, annoyed by them. But it's like, at least I'm making an active effort to try not to think like that. Like, I know so many people that are just shitty. Like, what? Man, I'm trying not to be shitty. Isn't like, and by the way, this anger that's coming out right now, that's me talking to God. Like, I don't get it. Like, I constantly have to be tortured by this idea that, like, I'm not a good person. Whereas, like, there's people out there who genuinely aren't good people. And I doubt you that throughout their day, they have anxiety over whether or not they're a good person. But I do. That sticks with me. Like, I could spend 2 hours thinking about, oh my gosh, if only my insides could be ripped open and exposed to the world, you know, it'd be like, holy shit, we're never going to talk to that crazy bitch again. It's not just about being crazy. It's about, like, I think I'm cruel. I think there is a very interesting theory that, like, and this is what I was trying to tell Devin the other day at work. The people that are, like, super, super sweet on the outside and, like, you know, friendly to everyone and, you know, doesn't cause any problems, whatever. Those are the people that are the most angry and can be, I'm not saying they are, but can be the biggest assholes. I'm one of them. I used to be like that. I feel like I always used to just be like, I don't know, most people would have thought of me as, like, sweet, I feel like. When in reality, how I see myself is like this huge dick. I'm like, wow. If a girl could be a misogynistic asshole, like, that'd be me, I feel like. Maybe misogynist is not the right word. I don't know. Just rough around the edges. I'm like, and I constantly tell myself, I'm like, there is no way that I'm the only person who thinks this way. But then when I'm around people, I'm reminded that I think in a lot of ways I am a different thinker. First of all, one biggest problem that I'm running into these past few weeks is realizing that I don't even want to be in a relationship if it's not, like, fun. Like, hanging out with Will, not Will Cheney, Will, that guy I hung out with the other day, who, like, totally kept up with my movie quotes and Jim Carrey lines. Hold on, let me get some more. Like, there's something very appealing about someone who makes me feel that comfortable. But at the same time, I don't want it if it's not that comfortable. So then I have to look inward and think, I keep thinking, okay, for instance, like, I quoted something at work today. And this one guy, he did get it, but it was the fact of, like, him not getting as much as anyone in my family, minus mom, would have, by the way, what I said was, you'll have to excuse my friend. He's a little slow. The town you're looking for is that way. I said that, and he caught on to it, but he, like, he didn't know. Instead of saying, like, oh, some two lucky guys, like, it was just, instead of, like, recognizing how familiar it was, he was like, oh, is that from Dumb and Dumber? Or, like, is that 1 or 2? And I was like, you fucker, it's 1. Like, literally, if anybody quoted anything from, it could be Liar Liar, Dumb and Dumber, which those are both Jim Carrey movies, but still, a lot of movies, and I would know straight off the bat that quote did not come from there. Like, if they try to tell me that this was said on Dumb and Dumber, I'd be like, no, it wasn't. Like, I just know it that well. And so I constantly think, I'm like, man, is it a me problem? Am I just too cool for everyone? But then I read these freaking letters with Amber writing to me from prison. She had the same fucking sense of humor. Like, I don't even think my mom would get half the shit we're saying in our letters. So it makes me think, I'm like, am I wrong to hold out for someone who has that humor or who reminds me of Dad in that way? Should I be, like, more open to the idea of meeting someone who's different than me? Like, okay, you don't have to quote movies all day long with me to be a nice guy. But it's like, I don't think, it's not about having a nice guy. I mean, I want a nice guy, but I want someone that is fun to be around, that, like, feels like my best friend. I want a best friend who I happen to like having sexual relations with. Ugh. My mouth tastes like ass. It could be due to the fact that, I haven't really drinking water today. But, win some, you lose some. I don't know. And look, I've been rambling for now 17 minutes. I've been talking out loud to myself. I don't know whether that's terrifying or interesting. Anyways, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what to do with this book that I so badly want to do something with. And then I've been thinking about a new little project, maybe, which I'm still deciding whether it's morally correct. I don't know. If only Amber could be down here, I could ask her in person. I would love to know how she'd feel about her letters being exposed, because it is so personal. But I think there's something very special about it. And I think that people would find it interesting. Or sad, or but I mean, isn't that that's entertainment? There's lots of movies about people with cancer. You don't watch it because it makes you feel all gooey and gushy inside. You watch it because it's relatable. Because some part of you has felt that pain, and we're humans. We empathize. Well, at least you should. If you don't, you probably have something to worry about. But that's why I'm like, I want so badly for, like, these 2 projects to work for me, and I want to be a writer, but I don't know, it's like on my day off, I don't want to do anything about time just flies. That's what's happening. Time just flies. Like, I just got off work today. People at my work talk about going out after work. They're like, oh, we're going to go eat this. I'm like, literally, I don't know about you, but my day feels so short. Like, I mean, it feels long when I'm at work. But besides that, like, I feel like I'm, like, having to squeeze everything in my life, which is stupid because I spend most of my time, like, sitting on the couch or, like, doing absolutely nothing. So I know there's always time. Like, you can make time. But I choose not to. So it makes me wonder, like, what's really important to me? But then I remind myself, I think it's the depression. But then if I say that out loud, it makes it worse. So I can't say that out loud, but I do think that that's a huge part of it. I'm like, I never know what's up. Like, why can't I be motivated to, like, wake up in the morning? Like, if this were anybody else, like, they probably would have had this project done. Like, and why am I even saying that? Like, why does it fucking matter? This could be a 5-year project. That shouldn't matter to anyone. Like, it could be a 20-year project. I mean, I really hope the first book that I publish isn't when I'm, 20 years from now, 45. But, I don't know. It's not about the money. It's not about fame. It's about, I wish I could say it's for the children. It's saving their souls, which is partially true. I mean, Levi Carter is clearly my inspiration, but at the same time, I don't think it's that either. I think it's like a personal goal for me just to like put my name on something. I've always been a writer. I've always wanted to write. Poetry's always been my thing. I finally found something else writing-wise that I'm into, which, again, is the children's book. So it's like I have this whole new project that, like, when I was little, if someone had asked me, like, oh, you know, you think you're going to write a children's book one day? No. Never would have crossed my mind, but I'll tell you this, now that it's out there, that it's like my dream all of a sudden. All of a sudden, I would love to be able to tell people that I'm a author. I think, like, I've always kind of felt, now I'm getting emotional. I've kind of always felt like one. I mean, my writing was special to me, and that's what mattered apparently, but it was also, my writing's always been very personal. Like, I mean, anyone who's ever read my shit, they're like, whoa, that's really dark. Like, I don't think most of my writing is meant to be read in a crowd, you know? It's quite the opposite, actually. It's like the dark feelings that people experience when they're alone, and sometimes that's necessary, I think. I don't think, you know, if we didn't, I don't know, I mean, if you didn't go through hard times alone, I mean, you never learned to survive it alone. So, at this point, I must be a mother freaking gangster, because I feel like I've gone through a lot. Now, not alone. I can't even try to claim that, because I have my mom, but we both know she's equally as occupied when it comes to shit that's going on. Not to mention, you know, she has her moments of complete craziness, for lack of a better word. But don't we all? Everyone in this family is. I would hate if we were normal. I'm so glad we're not normal. That would be terrifying. Oh my gosh, that'd be terrifying. But at the same time, sometimes I crave it. I'm like, why? What if, like, imagine if, like, me, Amber, Adam, and my mom and Brian had been, like, a family of 5 that, like, we all went to Kesha and we all went off and, like, worked, like, all these fancy jobs. And I'm like, would I even like it? Like, it's like, I hate the fact that Adam's a drug addict and I have issues of my own and Amber's dead. But at the same time, would I trade who they are as people? Probably not. Because all we ever did, and all we still do if we get the chance, even with Amber gone, is laugh. I've never met 2 people, and of course mom, dad included, but mostly my brother and sister, 2 people who are like, we all have the same humor. And I guess that's like super scary, because I'm just hoping that like somewhere along the lines of my life, I will meet someone else who like really can match up with that, because like I feel like lonely without it. Like, that's why I feel comfortable around dad. Just, it's not because mom's done most of the fucking heavy lifting, but I'll tell you this, is that like my dad and me have the same humor, and we could sit there and joke about the same shit, and he understands, and that's what I miss about Amber. You know, it's like, no one. Now I'm sitting at work, like, wondering if I'll ever even find a friend who could, like, I have friends now. I mean, Shaylee's fucking badass in so many ways. She's strong as shit, but she's just not like me. She, you know, it's not the movie quotes, and she's not a fart knocker. And then there's Haley, but she's not a movie quote person either, and then we're just completely opposite. So I don't know why I keep feeling like I need to find, like, this mirror of someone who is similar to me, because I don't think that's, I mean, everyone's different. I don't know, and now I'm just rambling. At this point. Feels good, though. Both the little scratchy thing I'm using on my head right now, and getting out my feelings. I just have a lot of feelings. Do you even go to this school? No. I just have a lot of feelings. Oh, high school. I can't even imagine, like, what little Levi's gonna be like in high school. It's interesting, to say the least. I feel like he's gonna, I don't know. Whatever he is, just, I hope he stays out of trouble. That's really what I care about. I don't give a shit if you're a nerd. I don't care if you're popular. Just be cool. Just be cool. I don't know. Don't do it for me and Adam, and possibly Amber at this point, I don't really know. Turns out, the older I get, the more I realize I didn't really know Amber. I mean, I knew her as my big sister, but that's totally different. What's interesting is that you get older, and that's what you realize. Is that, like, okay, for instance, let's put it in perspective. Well, that's not really the same. Actually, it could be the same. So me and Levi, right? I'm hoping like hell that Levi loves me as much as I love him. So if he does love me, or if I'm guessing he doesn't look up to me because he knows that I've been a drunk and shit. But whatever the case is, whatever he thinks of me, I always wonder, like, does he think that he knows, like, he doesn't know me. I mean, he knows, he's seen me at my worst, he's seen me at my best, whatever. But when it comes down to it, he's still a kid. So, like, we don't discuss what's going on in my world. He doesn't really know me. So what I think about all the time is I'm like, imagine all those times that Amber was feeling this way. Or something had happened the day that I called her in prison. And yet she was unwilling, probably because I had told her that I was on my way to 8th grade formal. Or that my first year of high school had gone good, or whatever the case. My second year, actually, it would have been. My second year of high school went good, or all this, like, I was going through, like, normal childhood phases. I don't think that she felt that if she were to get punched in the eyeball or beaten up, that she could have told me that anyways. So now I feel like there's a stranger behind Amber's face that, like, I never really totally got the opportunity to get to know. And so there's where that, like, disconnection of, like, okay, if, like, Amber and Adam were closer in age, so I think they had a lot more of, like, those, like, almost like friendship, like us against the world kind of talks. I think Amber was more, like, protective over me, more like how you'd picture, like, what you'd feel about, like, a daughter or something. So that's the thing, too, is, like, now I'm older. I'm 25. I'm older than Amber will ever be. Yes, I'm older than my sister. Ooh, haven't said that out loud yet. Whoa. I am as old as my big sister will ever be, which is crazy. It feels really weird because I always just saw her so old. But now that I'm 25, I don't know, I feel a mix of being, like, old as fuck and then still, like, a baby. Like, I can't decide whether I want to, like, lay in my mom's arms all night or, like, be in a wheelchair and, like, in a retirement home. Like, I'm just, like, right in the middle. Nothing really. Holy shit, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, whoa, that hit me. That hit. I guess it happened for Adam a long time ago, but still. I need to clean my carpet, that's for damn sure. From that stupid ass dog that I fostered. I mean, it was cute. I don't remember his name now. I feel like it was like Zeus or like Zeke. Something like that. Yeah, I don't think I could have an animal. I would love the love and comfort, but let's be honest, it's just not in the books for me. I live on the 3rd floor. I really don't want to walk up and down stairs. I hate the cold. Really not trying to walk up and down those stairs to take a dog out at all hours of the night. Not to mention I'm hardly ever here, and when I am here, I'm going to want to sleep, not take care of dogs. But I still have my Lolita. She just lives with someone else. With Levi. And now he gets to sleep with her every night. Little asshole. Oh, Levi Carter. He's so big now. He's, like, huge. Hugging him feels like you're hugging. He's almost kind of fat. He is. He's kind of fat. Oh, gosh. Amber, God, whomever, all people, don't let Levi grow up to be like that. He not just because he's a dude. Women shouldn't be like that either. But, like, teach him to love himself. Like, I hate that, be healthy, but no 10-year-old boy should be talking about how they're fat or how their mom's arms are flabby. I don't really understand that one. I guess because he was around it all the time. Not a fan. I think I'm definitely going to have my kid look in the mirror and say positive affirmations. Because that shit fucking works. Totally. I mean, I don't ever do it. I don't ever do it, but it works. No, but I feel like that's just good. I don't know. Like, sometimes I just... Mom was good about telling us, like, we were beautiful and talented, you know? She still says it. Like, she just called me today. She said she went to a party last night for the Bollingers. And she said everyone was talking about me. Which, in Mom's terms, everyone probably means, like, 2 people mentioned me. Maybe 2. But still. Yeah, it's like, that makes me feel good. Like, people still think I'm cool, but... I don't know. Sometimes I think those girls at the office, I'm like, oh. I feel like they think I'm so wild, like, which is funny because I'm really not. Like, I feel like people think I, like, party hard and shit, which it's like I do, but, like, I do it alone. Like, I promise you, it's not like this hot scene. My mom thinks I, like, sleep with a different dude every night. I'm like, little do you know, I literally masturbate, like, 5 times a day. Just kidding. Probably about once a day, which... That's healthy. I feel like that's healthy. She couldn't find the time even if she wanted to do that. She wouldn't have the time. I do. So, I accept. And I use that time. But, yeah. So, it's been 31 minutes now. I'm probably about to get off of here. Just simply because of the fact that I'm really concerned that I've been talking to myself for 31 minutes. Like, it makes me feel like a lonely fucking loser. But it's not even that. Stop. It's not that, Ariel. That's not it. This is my diary. It is a vlog, so to speak. But, yeah, I don't want my face in it. And also, too, if my face was in it, I would be talking differently. Because I would be more concerned about the way I looked on camera, even though it wouldn't matter, than what actual words were coming out of me. So, we're going to keep doing it like this. But, you know, I actually really enjoyed this. Got a lot of oomph off of me, if you know what I mean. So, over and out. Like I said, December 19th. Oh, it's 12:05. It's officially December 20th. December 20th, 2021. Harriel Fields. At my beautiful apartment at the river. Peace, love, and puppies.